And one of the arguments that was presented was a cosmological argument by this person named. There's a lot of proponents of it, where everything that begins to exist has a cause. And there's like a lot of objections of it. But the main argument is that anything that has a beginning has a cause. So I'll try to find an example. Like the universe. The universe began to exist. We know that because of the Big Bang. The Big Bang, you know, just time, space, and matter. It started from the Big Bang. Oh my gosh. Time, space, and matter started at the Big Bang. We know that. So it came to exist. But like, I don't know what I'm talking. I'm like focusing on too many things. The universe began to exist. Everything that begins to exist has a cause. Therefore, oh man, I'm butchering it real bad. I say this for like a while. Everything that has a cause. What am I saying? I gotta research this. I gotta research this again. Yeah, anyway, but like there's this cosmological argument where everything that begins to exist, you know, everything in the universe, points to a creator. So, you know, like everything in the world we see, it began to exist. So, oh man, I'm butchering it. Anyway, there's other like evidence as well to the objection. There's no evidence for God. It's like historical evidence. Mainly like the story of Jesus, how he came and resurrected from the dead, and like the best explanation is that he actually did exist from the come to life from the dead, even though it sounds impossible. Oh, I'm lagging. Everything that exists, everything that begins to exist has a cause. The universe began to exist, therefore the universe has a cause. And who's the cause of the universe? Your mom. That's right. You heard it here first. Your mom caused the universe. Alright, here we go. You messed. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I also hear like I was talking to this one person. She comes to our school sometimes, and she's like a hardcore atheist. Like she's one of those like, oh my goodness, she hates religion, you know. And she was like, religion is, you know, why would you believe in God? Religion is so horrible. Religion has caused all the wars, you know. Well, not all the wars. She would say, let's be charitable. She said religion has caused so many wars and so much, you know, pain and suffering and stuff like that. But in actual fact, that's like a myth. People just kind of spout that, like, you know, they just kind of like, what's that thing? Where like they just say what's popular. According to this encyclopedia of wars, religious wars make up like 3% of all wars in history, from the encyclopedia of wars. And just because, you know, people use God as a justification for their war doesn't mean they believe in God. Like, you know, in World War II, the Nazis, they had God with us on their belts, on their belt buckle. Does that mean they believe in God or Christian? You know, like, are they truly following what the Bible says? You know what I'm saying? So like, just because many people use religion to justify, you know, whatever their, you know, their belief or whatever their ideology, doesn't mean And necessarily, that's what it's for. You know, that's what the Bible says. I don't see anywhere in the Bible to, you know, take out all Jews. You know, exterminate all the Jews or anything like that. Yeah, and also atheism is, you know, secularism is more responsible to more of the human deaths in the 20th century than all the other centuries combined. You know, we have Stalin, you know, atheist, communist. We have Mao Zedong. He didn't believe in God. He, like, you know, got rid of all of that. We have Pol Pot from Cambodia, you know, genocided his own people, my people, Cambodia. He genocided 2/3 of the population in the 1970s. You know, recently, not even that long ago, less than 50 years. And my mum and my family and everybody lived through that. Like, saw how horrible they would, like, torture, and, you know, it's not a good conversation topic for a video game, to be honest. But yeah, like, not all wars, like, people point to the Crusades, but the Crusades were a response to political, you know, stuff like that. It wasn't even religious. It wasn't a bunch of Christians. You know what? I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna start killing, you know, a bunch of people. No, it wasn't like that at all. It was like land disputes and, you know, harassment from Muslims and whatnot, stuff like that. Because the Ottoman Empire back then was, like, at its peak, and they were, you know, trying to take over. There's a whole history behind it. You guys should take a look at it. It's pretty crazy. So, like, I feel like most people who say these types of stuff, they don't really research it. I feel like if you research it, you know, it's completely different. Like, one area is like Jesus mythicism. It's where people believe Jesus was just a myth. He didn't exist, and that's so, like, that's against everybody in the scholar, like, everybody at the scholarly level. Everybody agrees that Jesus existed, and this, like, if you deny Jesus didn't exist, you're on the level of Holocaust deniers, you know, like, you're on the level of flat earthers. You're, like, going into, like, a whole conspiracy theory. And so, yeah, so, you know, do your research. Do your research, guys. Do your research. Yeah, most people believe that Jesus was a man, in the scholars, like, academic, based on the writings and stuff like that. Oh, almost missed that. This game's over. I'm 6 goals up. I just nice. We take those. We take these games. Is he gonna forfeit? Are you gonna forfeit? Nice. Yeah, so some people will say that science disproves Christianity, and that is a categorically incorrect sentence, because science doesn't prove anything. And what I mean by that is that science is just science, you know. Science, you do a chemical reaction and stuff like that. That's how science is done. You can see it, you can do it right there, but you can't test the truth claim of a certain historical fact, or you know, something in history. That's where you look into history and stuff like that instead. Oh my goodness. Yeah, science explains how things can happen, and Christianity or religion explains why things happen. You know, so for example, you can figure out how, you know, molecules move, how physics works, how gravity works, but you don't really understand why it works. You know, you don't really see the reasoning behind it. Like, Yeah. And plus, there's certain things that science can't prove. You know, like science can't prove that the laws of logic. I mean, we're going into some deep philosophical concepts right now. Going into some deep conversations right now. Conversations with myself specifically. I'm just talking to myself this whole time. Yeah, so what was I saying? Yeah, there's some things that scientists can't prove. You can't prove that. You can't test certain things. You can't test. Oh my! I don't know. I'm kind of blanking out. I'm sure I give a lot of examples, but I don't know what I'm saying. Can't prove many things. For example, what's a good example? Can't prove love, I guess. I don't know. Can't prove things in history. You can't prove like I don't know. Trying to find a good example. Kind of lost. But there's also another objection, like fine-tuning of the universe. Everything's like so fine-tuned that even Stephen Hawking, he said like if gravity was like the value of gravity was off by 1 millimeter, if the value of gravity extended the whole of the known universe, oh dude, if the value of gravity, let's say the value of gravity spanned the whole entire universe, if that changed by 1 millimeter or 1 inch or something, we would not exist. Like the whole universe would not exist. It's so like precisely tuned. Also the Earth, we're in something called the Goldilocks zone, where everything is just perfect for life. We don't know any other place that's like fine-tuned into this like perfect natural space for humans to thrive and stuff like that. Like the sun is just so precisely far away enough that it ripens your tomatoes, It's so precise where it can send rain, season, all this craziness. Even the human body, like look at your eyes. Your eyes are like super cameras. No amount of camera, like all the cameras in the world combined cannot measure up to the resolution and the quality of your eye. Like it's so crazy. And also like your body, when you get injured, it rebuilds itself. It has DNA and stuff to rebuild your body. Imagine a machine. You build a machine that makes computers. You build a computer that makes computers. And whenever this computer gets damaged, the computer fixes it itself. Like, isn't that wild? Normally, like, you have a computer breakdown, you gotta take it to the technician, and then get it fixed. But imagine producing something like your body, where it produces stuff and it reproduces stuff and it fixes itself. It's like we don't even begin to compare. We don't even start to understand how that works. How to even emulate that. And there's like a bunch of stuff where like we always emulate things from nature, from creation, like butterfly wings and ants and stuff like that. We look at, it's called biomimetics or something, where we copy the things in nature and we use it in our own things. One famous example is the airplane. The Wright brothers, they looked at birds and they're like, how do these birds fly? And they looked at the structure of the bird and stuff like that, and then they made a design where they were able to fly because of the birds. It's like one of the most popular biomimetics stuff that we look into. And there's more stuff like that. So it's pretty cool, I tell you. Lord Deco, Ocean Flasho, Code Cash Flow. That's a pretty cool name. Skeletron 3000. That's a pretty cool name too. That sounds like a transformer right there. Transformers. Oh, oh, that's in. No, it's not. It's in. Nice. My gosh. Good jobs. Good job, Steve Jobs. Well done.